And we are live. Hey, everybody, this is Roberto Blake. Hope you create something awesome today. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be doing another FAQ Friday. We're going to be talking about YouTube analytics. We're going to be doing a deep dive session into how you can find topics and ideas for your videos. I'm going to be sharing a cool tool with you called oneof10.com and how that can be useful to you besides just using your good old-fashioned YouTube analytics. This is a Chrome extension. I use Firefox. Firefox is just what I prefer as a browser. It makes my streams more stable for all of you. So I like Firefox. So we'll be checking out oneof10.com. We'll also be diving into back-end YouTube analytics. Happy to share any of that with you guys. Go into advanced mode, answer any of all of your questions in the chat, show you how to find whatever it is you could be looking for in your data. So this could be extremely helpful. We'll also talk about a little bit of content strategy, how to build out content pillars. If you're new here, we try to do FAQ Fridays, monetization Mondays, and workshop Wednesdays. I was traveling, so we missed a couple of streams, but we're back now. And also, let's do some quick housekeeping. We got plenty of links with resources in the description, including our wonderful sponsors who always take care of me. Friends over at Streamyard, simplest solution in live streaming. That's how we're streaming to Facebook Live, LinkedIn Live, YouTube Live, Twitch.com, Kick.com, and X.com, formerly Twitter right now. So make sure you're checking out Streamyard. Free link in the description down below for you. Thank you to Streamyard for sponsoring. Also, our good friends over at OpusClip for repurposing content. If you actually want to monetize and scale on all of your major platforms, you can do that with OpusClip, and you can schedule your content to go out. So that's incredibly helpful. Yeah, something to think about. One of the other things that I will tell you is that monetization, if you read today's newsletter, also shout out to everybody who is signed up for my community newsletter, Creator Economy Insider. If you have checked out the newsletter, YouTube invalid traffic is a thing. I have even been hit with YouTube invalid traffic. I've been suffering with YouTube invalid traffic as an issue on my platform for over a year. It does affect things like YouTube monetization. And so I talked a little bit about this in the newsletter today. Well, not a little bit, a lot. It was the whole newsletter about this issue. We'll be covering it more from time to time, but basically it's one more reason I'm encouraging you to not rely on ad revenue. And shout out to our friends at Kajabi for helping with online memberships, courses, cohorts, and coaching platforms, because it's one more way that make money and do not rely on YouTube AdSense. Do not become a digital sharecropper. Find other ways to monetize, whether it's streaming on multiple platforms, repurposing and monetizing on multiple platforms, or building a platform of your own like I have on Kajabi with the Awesome Creator Academy Pro Group, because you don't want to be living off that AdSense revenue only to have it taken away. I covered a creator in the newsletter who actually shared very vulnerably that he lost 90% of his AdSense revenue. So this is one more reason I want to encourage a lot of you, do whatever you got to do. Merchandise, affiliate links, sponsorships, long-term brand deals, UGC content, build your own platforms, monetize an email newsletter, get sponsors for that, affiliate links for that, sell digital products, create online courses, monetize in as many ways as you possibly can. You do not want to live at the mercy of YouTube ad revenue or platform creator funds. And so shout out to our friends at Kajabi for helping people build their online businesses. So let's further dive into what you guys are here for. I'm going to take questions from the chat, but I'm also going to be bringing up analytics and running you through some different things. So there's an update to YouTube on the back end in the YouTube research tab, and it tries to help with things like top searches along your content. And it also has a new feature that can try and help you generate ideas using an AI-generated tool that's supposed to be based on your own back-end YouTube data. YouTube is calling this Get Inspired. So it has that. Excuse me, I'm just snacking a little bit. Probably need to actually eat some real food today. But let's use like an example like content strategy I'm going to see what it gives us, because it's going to largely go off of my own data and off of my own audience here, which is why I'm not using one of your niches like gaming, for example. I'm using mine because it shows me how many people watch videos on these topics. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, it uses some of my own data. Now, if I did type in something like, let's type in something like Helldivers 2, just to see what data it can give me. So that's not going to work out for me. So I think this is really just based off of my audience. So Avatar, The Last Airbender, recent audience activity 0. So see, it goes off of your own audience. So I have to do things that my audience would care about for this. I can't just type in random things in YouTube. So content strategy is something that my audience cares about. So recent audience activity. So content strategy. What if I type in something like YouTube monetization? So look at this. In the last 28 days, how to make money online. Recent audience activity. Okay. How to make money online 2024. Okay. So it shows that there's a strong desire for this in my audience. How to start a YouTube channel. Not enough info about your audience. So still working on that. What about faceless YouTube channel? Not enough data on your audience. How to grow on YouTube. Interesting. It can still help me create an outline around this video, by the way. But again, let's go back to content strategy and then have it create an outline based on the fact that a lot of my audience cares about it. So it gives some tips here. So outline suggestions, why you need a content strategy, how to find content gaps, how to add value to your content, how to create a content calendar. Interesting. So it says AI generated content varies in quality, may be inaccurate or inappropriate. Use discretion before you create or use anything provided, not professional advice. Well, thank you, YouTube. So again, it gave me some pretty decent suggestions here. So if you are trying to figure out what content you can or should make based on your own audience, this YouTube tool could be helpful for some of you, because it goes off your own data versus just being random ChatGPT without any context on your audience. So maybe this is helpful. Yes, YouTube does this now with the research tab in YouTube. And I believe, and this is directly in YouTube, so I do believe that they will improve this over time. So John Constantine asked, can ChatGPT help me find great keywords for my YouTube video uploads? It can if you have a proper prompt. If you have a proper prompt, then it can. But if you just ask it for without context, then it's not really that helpful. Now, with this tool over here, oneof10.com, I have a link for this in the description if you're interested. I have a link in the description of this video on YouTube. I'm also going to paste a link for this in the chat if I can. I'm going to try to anyway. I believe I have a link for this. 1of10finder.com. So get 1 of 10 to find video ideas. So I'm posting this in the chat so you guys can get this. This is an affiliate link of mine for 1 of 10. But the cool thing about 1 of 10 is that I can run these different filters. So if I want to get a video idea, then I can decide, hey, I want a smaller channel that's doing exceptionally well. So give me, you know, some decent content here with anywhere from 100K views, you know, to 5 million, with a median of about 50K, you know, to 2 million views. Give me, you know, 10K to 51K subscribers. And let's find stuff that's done this in the last 3 months. So I apply these filters. So now what I'm going to do a search for is I'm going to do something for you, like, you know, gamers. I'm going to, like, for example, I could just click the category of gaming. For example, if there's not a particular game I care about. So look at this. We find a smaller YouTuber, 22K subs. We found an outlier video. So this is a Minecraft video about miners. And this is the you know, thumbnail, and this is the title. And we saw that it got 200,000 views within the last 2 to 3 months, and with 22K subs. So it's an outlier, and it's performing really well. Noob versus pro, bus house build challenge in Minecraft. So we found another Minecraft video. It's an outlier. Helldivers 2. We found another outlier here. 47K subs, 1 million views. So again, this is why this is helpful. It's because of these advanced filters. You could theoretically do something like this in YouTube itself, but without the filters, it's really a pain in the butt to pull it off. Thank you. Thank you. So again, I'm looking at this, and this is helping me find videos. For example, I'm not sure what game this is, but it says bounty hunting with Kitsune for 24 hours in Roblox. Okay, so it's a Roblox video. So for those of you listening, this is a Roblox video. Creator has 32K subs. This has 144,000 views in 2 months. And so I'm able to see that has an interesting before and after thumbnail, highlights the 24 hours. It has some gameplay footage in there. So I'm able to see what, you know, games and what people would be interested in. That's in the gaming category. Now I could search for a particular topic and put that into search, or I can, again, just use some of the categories it has, like cooking, for example. If I wanted to find cooking videos. And the reason I use smaller YouTubers is because it means they don't have leverage, they don't have clout, they don't have a way to automatically just arbitrarily get views. And I specifically decided to target a view range where the views would be higher than the amount of subscribers the YouTube has. So it's definitely an outlier and an overperformer, and that's what we're really looking for in terms of inspiration. Now, the idea is to make our own videos, but to make similar videos to these overperformers, to say, okay, here's a good idea. What could I get inspiration from to tap into this and do something similar? Now, again, because of the content and the filters I set, it will go outside of the niche sometimes. Which you just have to put up with. I mean, YouTube search would do the same thing. This is built on the back end of the YouTube API, and this is a brand new tool, so they are always improving it. So take it with a grain of salt, and that will, you know, populate these things when you don't necessarily have more videos that meet your exact desire. if I do productivity with these same filters that I have in place, this gets some interesting videos. Total idiots at work seems to be a trend that people are trying. So that's interesting. It's getting a couple of the same videos. So again, they're probably working on some things in the back end, either that or it's because my filters are very specific and there may not always be enough things to fill out my parameters, but it fills out some of them. Let's see, self-care is expensive and selling you overconsumption. 27K views, 200,000 views, 27K subs. So that's interesting. 10 Plagues of Egypt, AI animation. Okay. That has 48K subs, 168 views, 168K views. Sorry about that. So again, outlier videos. So that's something we can use as an outside tool. Now, another thing you could do is you could just use some of your own analytics. If I went into advanced mode, and I look at what my top performing content is over the last 90 days, I could get inspiration from my own ideas of like, okay, what did my audience pay attention to over the last 90 days? So for me, it's a bunch of how-to videos. It's my easy green screen tutorial. So that tells me more video editing tutorials would help a lot of you. And so maybe I do more series around things like how to add background music in Premiere Pro, how to color grade in Premiere Pro, how to do audio syncing in Premiere Pro, how to do voiceover. Maybe how to fix bad audio in Premiere Pro, things like that. This video on merchandise that I did 2 years ago is still doing extremely well and got almost 40,000 views in the last 90 days. So there are things that you guys are more interested in than others. A lot of the content around becoming a full-time content creator is in the top 10. So obviously making more videos about becoming a full-time content creator would perform very well for a lot of you. So very interesting stuff there. The overwhelming majority of high-performing videos, more and more, seems to be live streams, kind of proving our theory that longer form videos tend to do very well and tend to get potentially more impressions. If we look at the impression numbers, the most impressions over the last 90 days is a good way to figure out what content to make, by the way. So if instead of going by views, what if we go by impressions? What if we go by how much opportunity YouTube gave us regardless of how something performed? What if we went off the opportunity? So we could filter by impressions and look at opportunity and then pick topics based on that. And so that gives us a better indicator, because just because we didn't get a lot of views on something or a good click-through rate, but YouTube gave us the opportunity, maybe that's worth making more content about. So I did that for the last 90 days. What if I look at for the last 365 days, though? What if I find what has the most impressions over 365 days? So with that one, still the merchandise video for that one, the how to make better thumbnails live stream. And so for me, it's mostly live streams. Interestingly, the 97% of YouTube channels fail video also is in the top 10 for impressions. Same thing for the how to make better titles with ChatGPT. Same thing for the easy green screen tutorial. So I'm seeing a pattern here of extremely long and extremely short videos getting the most impressions, and it being based around certain specific topics. So I could take inspiration from my own content over the last year and say that, you know, maybe last year as a predictor or indicator of what would perform this year. Also, we're not going to do an excessively long stream tonight. We're starting a little bit late. I'm also pretty tired this evening. Been traveling this week. Just got back from CEX, which is Content Entrepreneur Expo. Really great crowd of over 30 plus creators. It's put on by a publication. It's by Tilt Publishing and Joe Paluzzi. So really good conference. That was out in Ohio this year. Maybe they'll be back again next year, that same place. But really good conference. Grape Tea News, thanks for joining, says, hey, everybody, I've been watching Roberto Blake since 2021. His advice is honest, straightforward. I've been taking the living off ramming and uploading daily content route, and the result has been amazing. Grind mode. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I made a finance channel ask, hey, Roberto, are we doing channel audits? Not today. We have to do that on a day that I have energy. I do not have energy tonight on Friday night. My bed is already calling me. So we're in old man Roberto mode right now. So we're just going to kind of coast through some analytics stuff. Probably be here for like maybe an hour. The most I'm going to do is probably, hour and a half, 2 hours to do a FAQ Friday today because I've been traveling all week. So I wanted to make it up to you guys with a stream. And try to keep some of the schedule, at least not miss streaming at all this week. John Constantine says, tips on increasing public watch hours. Is it only about live streams? For that, I recommend you watch my video on exactly how to get 4,000 hours of watch time. I did a video about this already. So on my YouTube channel, there is a video. And it's on, I believe it's on my YouTube homepage. I have a video that is on exactly how to get, well, I definitely have the how to get your first 1,000 subscribers.
Being a content creator can be one of the most...
I'm sure somewhere here that I have a video on how to get your first 4,000 hours of watch time. So if you go to my YouTube homepage, there's a playlist that says new here, start with this playlist. And if you scroll through the playlist, the 6th video is get monetized fast, exactly how to get 4,000 hours of watch time. And I give you a complete process and formula for the 4,000 hours of watch time. It still works today. That video has over 100,000 views and it has a lot of great comments because it actually works. So you'll want to just follow that formula, John, and anybody else in the chat. So if you're trying to get the 4,000 watch hours, this is the video you need. I'll probably use a strategy for my friends at vidIQ. I'll probably just remake that video every year and get another 100,000 views every year making that video. Same thing for my most profitable niches on YouTube videos. Again, revisiting what works with some minor changes is definitely a strategy that is proven time and time again. And I am going to try to get back to edited videos, not just live streams. The goal is to eventually, with doing the live streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which we've been able to keep up with. The goal is to eventually do Tuesday and Thursday uploads of regular videos. I just have to get back into the swing of editing. But we do have a lot of them planned, actually. I plan a lot of my videos and advice. In fact, in trying to help you find video topics and ideas, which I think I really accomplished that with a lot of this between showing you, how to use oneof10.com to find video ideas and inspiration, but also how to use your own analytics and how to use YouTube's new research tool. Again, that's not the end all be all of finding video topics and ideas. And we've done a couple of videos about that. You could find inspiration from other people in your niche. One example of this is if we go to our audience tab in YouTube, we can actually see what other content people watch. So it's no surprise that if you watch my channel, you watch vidIQ, you watch Nate Black, you watch Jade Beeson, Nick Nimmin, my friend Vanessa Lau, Ed from Film Booth, Nolan Malt, formerly of Think Media, Aaron On Demand, Dan Coe, Make Money Matt. So it's not surprising to me that you'll watch some of these characters. but you also get a thing that says what your audience watches. And so in the what your audience watches tab here, you can go to videos, you can go to shorts, you can go to lives, you can go into podcast. And what will happen is you'll see individual videos from people that kind of give you an idea of what your audience has watched in the last 7 days, last week, basically. So what they're responding to. And so from that perspective, you don't have to guess anymore. You know what your people want to watch. And so you can see videos from other people that are performing, get ideas. So Dan Coe has a video, how to build an audience with, 0 followers. I could do a video on how to build an audience on social media with 0 followers and 0 content, and people probably would click on that, and then I can explain the process for building content. Robert Benjamin has a video on YouTube's algorithm has changed. I probably wouldn't necessarily do that video. Marcus Jones, I like his channel a lot. Best way to get 4,000 hours of watch time on YouTube. I could probably do 15 tips for getting 4,000 hours of watch time on YouTube, and then that video would do well. How much YouTube paid me for 1 million views. Always a fan favorite. I could probably do a video on how much YouTube paid me for 10 million views and pull that data. So again, this just shows me things that many of you would watch or have watched. And then I could use that as inspiration for my own videos. Same thing with these live streams. Too many of y'all watching the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake beef for my taste, but okay. And then I can see which podcast you guys are listening to. So you guys are checking out Niman Live. You are checking out the Freelance Friday podcast. Very interesting from Latasha James, another friend of the channel. You guys are listening to Deep Dive with Ali Abdal. So that's encouraging. Creator Science with Jay Klaus. I actually have an interview with him coming up that we recorded. Colin and Samir show. 19 Keys. First Million. So yeah. Paid Copywriter podcast. That's an interesting highlight. So yeah. A lot of different opportunity. Yeah, so a lot of you didn't know about these different features in YouTube. Another thing that YouTube shows you is it shows you when your viewers are on YouTube specifically. So it highlights this in a grid, and the brighter the area of the grid is, the greater concentration of when your audience is online. So the end of that window for me is the 6 to 8 o'clock window. So I definitely want to be within that, especially for streaming. So this could be extremely helpful. Clearly, uploading anytime between noon and 8 p.m. will generally work for me almost any day of the week. So my audience is on majority of that time. So very good to know there. And that's another feature that exists in your YouTube analytics under your audience tab. So again, this is the kind of thing that helps you better understand your own channel and its analytics. This can help inspire you with, okay, here's what I could be posting, should be posting, even when I should be posting it, and so on and so forth. So that should help eliminate some of your confusion or some of the anxiety many of you have around creating your content. Yep. So I think in terms of some of the main tools for finding topics, I mean, the only other thing really is ChatGPT, but I did a workshop about that actually that you could watch where I go more in depth into it. I don't necessarily want to do it on tonight's stream because it gets very involved. But there is a workshop that we've already done specifically around ChatGPT when it comes to content strategy and building out titles. And if it's not here on the home page, you can definitely find it under the live stream tab. So if you go to the live stream tab on my YouTube channel, it'll show you the up and coming episodes of the live streams. For example, we got a monetization Monday coming up on how to diversify your income, where I'm going to cover every major YouTube niche. We did a workshop Wednesday, but we did on a Saturday on how to publish with Amazon KDP. We did one for creating online courses. The main thing I'm going to probably work on this weekend, aside from Mother's Day stuff, is, and shout out to all the moms out there, is probably I'm going to work on doing any of the chapters to make these easier for the playbacks. Any ones I don't have chapters for, I'm going to update that. So that's going to probably kill my whole Saturday, but it's fine. I definitely need to do that. It's definitely going to help with the replay value. It's going to help a lot of you with replays to be able to get through these. So that's what we're going to do. But yeah, if you specifically want to have something that helps you with titles, we have almost 70,000 views on the free workshop. It's a 3-hour and 40-minute workshop, almost 70,000 views from 9 months ago, where I showed you how to use ChatGPT to, in detail, granular detail, help you with your YouTube titles for your videos. So that is something that can be very powerful for you guys as far as a free training that you can take advantage of. The way I try to do these is, one, we're going to start trying to keep these to just under 3 hours, because that's going to also help me with repurposing them. But that's going to definitely help a lot of you specifically with coming up for titles for your videos using ChatGPT if you want to. Living on a Dime says, hey, everybody, give Roberto a huge thumbs up. Thank you. Do smash the like button for all of the algorithms. Definitely appreciate you. Let's see. Also, just another lesson in thumbnails, by the way. Thumbnails decide everything, along with titles, by the way. Thumbnails and titles decide everything. If you guys look even at this, these are from a couple of months ago, but for those of you watching, you can actually see it here. And this is also what I've been doing for those who are like, hey, Roberto, have you even been uploading or whatever? It's like I've been streaming like consistently. It's the thing I've actually been consistent at is the streaming. And like I said, I'll get back into the swing of editing eventually. I have some stuff filmed for all of you for the editing. But we could see that I took a templated approach to the thumbnail designs, and it does work. It does work. And it's not just for older streams. Even though that certainly definitely helps, but the streams still are getting replay views. You can see this one from 3 months ago is almost 4-hour stream, but 30K views. So a bunch of people still want to watch this, even though it's extremely long. Same thing for the digital courses one. It's at 4K views and it's still climbing. That's from a month ago. But we even have the thumbnails one. It's almost to 7K views. That's a month ago. The mother monetization one, and even recently another one on how to become a full-time content creator earning 10K each month. That one's at 14K views. So it might take some time for my live streams to get these higher views, but it works. And the live streams also, in terms of their ad revenue value, which I don't mind showing you, the live streams have the best overall performance when it comes to revenue generation. The live streams out-earn every other format. So as you can see, the live streams have an RPM that's close to $20 in RPM, whereas videos, by comparison, with the invalid traffic issue, still strong at $9 averages, but live streams are worth double the RPM value. And so live streams, mostly because of replays, not because of super chats, but because of replays, but also thank you for the super chats. Live streams, because of their replay value in 90 days, worth 5,000 in 90 days on their replay value on about roughly 250,000 views. Videos, 100,000, 40 views on replay value on old uploads. I haven't been doing new uploads, not right now. Replay value for 100,000 views on regular videos, to $1,247. Live streams, almost double the views, but more than double the revenue on that. So double the views, almost 4 times the revenue. So, I mean, it's not even close in terms of what format. And then, as you can see, shorts, even if I were to get shorts views, it wouldn't do much. It wouldn't do jack. It's 14-cent RPM for me. It's still high for shorts, mind you. So my shorts RPM is considerable, but my views on shorts are not great. I'm known for my long form content. So as you can see from my content, the longer, the better, the longer, the better. So it's kind of the direction I'm going to go in. I'm also probably going to go to film more content, more value, but less editing, less over the top, less trying to get attention spans or worry about retention rates. I'm just going to give you guys the content. And it's a take it or leave it position on that. So that's how information, I think, is going to go. Living on a Dime asks, Roberto, is it a dumb idea to just do live streams? My problem is coming up with ideas for them, but they are my top videos. I still believe in a balanced, holistic approach to YouTube. Believe it or not, I'm going to be doing live streams. Yes, I recommend having chapters for your live streams for the replay value, but I'm also going to film regular videos and edit regular videos. And I still believe in a core 100 videos, 2 videos a week, minimum of 1 video a week, edited and uploaded to YouTube. I believe in that. I've just been working so much on a lot of my other business stuff. I've been getting a lot of wonderful coaching calls from all of you every week. We've actually done extremely well on the coaching calls one-on-one. The Awesome Creator Academy Pro Group is at 100 members right now. We have 150 seats. We're at 100 members. So we're 2/3 to capacity, which is fantastic. We're over $5,000 a month of revenue in the pro group. Coaching has been going great. $12,000 a month in revenue total for Awesome Creator Academy each month for the last 2 months, I think. So we're doing fantastic. I'm working on developing the Brand Deal Secrets course. We have a wait list for that now. So we have a wait list for the Brand Deal Secrets course. We are doing really well on the business side. I've also been doing a lot of stuff in, the house here, like how you guys have seen that I finished the basement setup that I wanted to do in terms of the library that I built in the basement. So that was really dope. So there's just been a lot of stuff that has prevented me from sitting down, buckling down, editing regular YouTube content. I still believe in editing regular YouTube content, but I would say 100 YouTube videos a year. So that's 2 video uploads a week. If you go the other way and you do 2 live streams a week, maybe you do 1 video a week, you balance that out, you figure out which one you want to do. That gives you 150 uploads there. I'm fine with people doing shorts on a regular YouTube channel. My goal and strategy wouldn't be to do shorts that lead to long form. It'd be shorts that lead to other shorts, though. So that's what I would say. Malevolent Elephant asks, isn't the high RPM just from the length? So that's a lot of ads in the video that you get paid. It kind of, sort of. But remember, my regular videos are also long. So kind of. Yes, I definitely recommend chapters for videos. A lot of people are worried, won't people skip around if there's chapters? I find that they exit videos less if there's chapters because they at least feel like they're getting an organized, well thought out video. So I prefer chapters both as a viewer, but also as a creator. Yeah, Living on a Dime has actually done multiple coaching calls with me. They're awesome. Go check out their channel, y'all. But Living on a Dime says Roberto's coaching calls are very worth it. Thank you. Appreciate y'all. And Katie Ukulele says, Roberto, I know you'll believe it when you see it, but I do plan to join the academy once I'm settled into my growth in life. Yeah, I never want anybody when they are short on money to worry about joining my academy pro group or doing coaching calls. When you don't have money or you're not making money as a content creator, use free content like mine and then make money that pays for learning more and growing more in that regard. If you do spend money, I say the best value is buying my book, Create Something Awesome, How Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. I think that books give a good framework for content strategy to some degree. Mine tries to, but I also try to set expectations in my book around the mental health of being a content creator, what the money is really like, what the experience is like, how you're going to experience criticism and haters and how to deal with it, getting overworked and overwhelmed, getting discouraged, fear of failure, when to pivot, all kinds of things that most people wouldn't think of putting in a book like this. So I really tried to make sure it was thoughtful. And I do feel like it's one of the best steps you could start as a beginning content creator, especially if you're not making any real money yet. I don't see there's downside to spending $10 to $15 on a book. So I definitely recommend just starting there. Like, start with the free content, start with the book. The book actually takes you to a link for a free course. I think I have like 20 videos in it that answers a lot of questions that beginners have. So definitely would recommend that. Yeah, sometimes it's not a money issue. Sometimes for being a content creator, what you really have to do is figure out a proof of concept. Katie is saying this in the chat, and it makes it very practical in terms of you have to have a proof of concept. But I think it's less about the content. I think that actually you need a concept for, I think that the best thing, and I was talking with a creator today about this on a coaching call, actually. Clarity is everything. Clarity is everything. So what I tell a lot of people is this. A lot of people's real issue, and they don't realize this, is that they need to have a mission that they're on. And then if you have a mission, then it's easier to build an audience. It's easier to build followers. It's easier to attract a tribe, because then people are trying to help you in accomplishing that mission and being part of that journey and part of that community, and you share values. So it's easier to get viewers when you guys share the same values. When you share the same values, then the viewers can be attracted to that, because when you have someone who shares the values, embodies the values, and when they're on a mission that reflects those values, then committing to supporting a person like that, committing to engaging with the community of like-minded people, that becomes valuable in and of itself to that person. Because what is hard and becomes much harder over time, especially as adults, is to find your people. As an adult, it's hard to make adult friends. It's hard to find your people. So finding people that you share interest and values with, share your hobbies, share your likes, share your lifestyles, share your ambition, share your dreams, share your philosophy of how to live a good life. Those are hard to come by. So when you find it, you feel much more inclined to support that when you find it and come across it. So when a creator makes it easy for you to understand that, okay, we are on the same page, we share the same interest, values, culture, belief system, whatever it is, then it's easier to gravitate and say, not only do I want to follow that creator, but I want to engage in that community because I want access to more of my own people. So all brands could be, from a philosophical standpoint, all brands, no matter what it is, could be reduced to the concept of religion or tribes. So religion and tribes. Patrick Hamlin writes about this in a great book called Primal Branding. You guys should definitely check it out. When I'm done with my Creator Economy trilogy, I'm probably going to write a book about this and about personal brands. But the idea that I think about all the time is I make a joke all the time that all brands are cults. and Apple is the one true faith, so like Apple is a religion to people. So Steve Jobs would never do this. Oh, well, what would Steve Jobs do? So Steve Jobs would represent the primary religious figure within the Apple community, within the tribe of Apple enthusiasts and Apple fans and Apple sheep and Apple fanatics, whatever you want to call it, right? So in that world, Steve Jobs is the central figure. Steve Wozniak is a central figure. Tim Cook is a central figure. That would be the trinity within that group, right? And then there are things that people who are Apple fans, know, and there's like the spinning beach ball of death, for example. So this is a whole thing. Us as YouTube creators, we have a cult. We know what demonetization is. We have the 4,000 hours is our ritual. The 4,000 hours is the sacrament of the full-time YouTuber, the aspiring full-time YouTuber anyway. The 4,000 hours is our sacrament. It is the thing that we have to ritualistically do in order to finally make our bones and be a monetized, fully vested content creator in the YouTube Partner Program. So that means something to us. So that's part of our quote unquote religion as YouTube content creators. So when you break it down and when you think about it from that perspective, what are you building that has a community around it, and what would be the rituals and what would be the iconography and what would be the language and who are the central figures within your your niche? And your niche is not your topic. Your niche is the things that your audience consolidates around. So it's who is my audience? Who's my audience avatar? Okay, I have my audience avatar. Well, who are the figures and people that they look up to and admire? Who are the heroes? Who are the villains? Who is the pantheon of heroes? Who's the pantheon of heroes? Who's the rogues gallery of villains? You would want to understand that, and you would incorporate that into your branding and into your messaging. What are the words, vernacular, jargon? What are the words of power that are in my niche, my community, my audience, my tribe? What do they respond to? What is it that is meaningful to them? What signals to them that this is your content, this is your thing? So you'd have to understand that, for example. What imagery evokes emotion from them? For us, it's things like the green dollar signs and green arrows, red arrows for down, yellow dollar signs for demonetization, YouTube play buttons. These are the iconography of our quote unquote religion as content creators. So what would it be in your audience's niche? What would that be? So who are you speaking to? What do they resonate with? What will be familiar with to them? What icons, logos, people, places, things matter and are immediately recognizable to them? So this is how we would start to build and develop our brand. This is how we start to really think about creating more clarity within our content and our overall strategy, right? Whose faces could we put in thumbnails that they would recognize? So if you're in personal finance, for example, Dave Ramsey is one of the central figures of personal finance. So is Robert Kiyosaki. So is Grant Cardone. These are people in finance that people's faces. But who are the villains in finance? It's people like Sam Bankman-Fried. You can use his face in something. He's a villain in finance. He's a villain in crypto. Probably a villain in the world at large, right? So you could use him. So he'd represent a villain or a devil. And so that would be something that people would immediately recognize and that people would click on. And so there's all of these ways to understand your audience and say, well, what are their preferences? What are their challenges? Who do they like? Who do they dislike? What words convey meaning and power and impact and emotion to them? And so that becomes incredibly powerful to leverage in your overall content strategy. And so understanding your audience means everything. If you understand your audience and you know these things about them, then you know how to properly build and develop your brand. And that would include the visual elements and aspects of your brand, your thumbnails. You'd know what words to use in your titles. You would know what topics and subject matter. You'll know, okay, here are taboo topics that I stay away from. Here are topics that I have to constantly invoke and reinforce. So again, if we look at, and if you even just look at Apple, like I said, Apple, you could look at it as a tribe, you could look at it as a religion, you could look at it as a cult, Steve be praised, you know, Apple, the one true faith. And then, you know, well, what's heretical? Well, you know, Android, having an Android make you a heretic. Not being in the Apple ecosystem would make you a heretic. Slandering the name of Saint Steve Jobs would make you a heretic, right? So you have to understand, you know, these things. Slandering the name of Johnny Ive would make you a heretic. So you have to have a sense of who your audience is and what that represents for them collectively as a tribe. What are the things that make someone clearly a member of that tribe and how they would identify one another? What language and what words would they use? What symbols would they recognize, and so on and so forth. So the thing is, you want to take these things into consideration, and then you want to act very intentionally. You want to act very intentionally about how you build out from there. So we got a couple of quick questions. Let's see. I think I saw a question here. So we have Peter George says, Roberto, what are your thoughts on the sale of Streamyard and what the future holds? We'll see, because the sale of Streamyard is new. I think Bending Spoons is the new owner. Dan and Gage actually tried to buy Streamyard back as the founders. So originally Dan and Gage built Streamyard along with early employees. They sold to Hopin. Hopin then got an offer from Bending Spoons and sold Streamyard and its sister company Streamable as a package deal to Bending Spoons, so no longer part of Hopin. And as a result, though, when it changed hands, there were some things where Dan and Gage, the founders, were like, well, maybe we try and buy it back. And their buyback offer was not accepted, so they're no longer involved with the company along with the early employees. So the main thing that I'm concerned about is making sure that the employees from Streamyard have a safe landing in their future endeavors. If anybody's working at Streamyard, you can always feel free to reach out to me. If you want intro to another great company to work at, I'm happy to try and facilitate that. I work with some great companies. I know some great creator economy founders. So for people from the Streamyard team looking for work, if you've been displaced, then definitely make sure you hit me up. So Victor says, question, Roberto. So Victor says, question, Roberto, for a reaction channel, how important is the timing of my videos, especially for a new channel? I try to upload on the day or two after a show, but some of my videos get lower views. There are people who are uploading the hour after a show, and that's rough. Believe it or not, I've done TV show reaction videos. They're no longer visible on my channel. I would get some views on them way back in the day. Like tens of thousands of views. And this is when I was a very small YouTuber back in the day, because back then niching down could matter, but it didn't matter in the same way it does today. That's for bloody sure. And so I didn't have to specifically work as hard at making sure that I did every single thing I could to niche down back then. I could just react to things. And this is when I was like a small channel. And when I say a small channel, I mean back when I was like under 30,000 subscribers. And so if I show you what I mean, I just filtered for this. Again, I don't have these videos up anywhere. You cannot watch them, but I used to do like reactions to things back in the day in 2014. In addition to my freelancer content, I would do some like Game of Thrones related stuff. And so I had like 30,000 subscribers back then in 2014. That was about 20,000. It's about 20,000. And you can see I got views. I got views for being a 20,000 subscriber YouTuber. I was getting some views when it comes to Game of Thrones. So the thing is, and not everyone always agreed with my videos. You could see the like ratios could vary greatly depending on the video there. So not everyone liked my reviews, whatever, or my reactions, whatever. But yeah, some people get a video out literally within an hour of an episode going on air. So you can't always win the timing game alone. What will help you for reaction videos and review videos is having a unique perspective and something that people come to you for, and a way about your reactions. In addition to that, just superior thumbnails go a long way too. Back then, my thumbnails for this were nothing special, but I wasn't trying my little heart out. It was something I was doing for fun at the time. But what I would tell you is, the uniqueness of coming back to you specifically because there's a perspective, a point of view, or a format. So it's either the way that it's the perspective, point of view, or it's the format that you have that makes it interesting and dynamic, that makes it, okay, I'll come back to this, but also not just that they'll come back to it, that they will share it, and that also they'll opt in for a different point of view than what people normally get. And so there's a difference. And if you do it right, you won't have to win timing all the time. People will come and wait for when so-and-so's video coming out. When's Victor's video coming out? What does Victor think? You want to put people in a position to say, I need to know what Victor thinks. Well, when's Victor dropping the video? Well, I need to see Victor like roast this show or roast these frauds. I need it. Where's Victor at? Hey, Victor, you okay? Where's the upload? Like, you need people to feel that about what you're doing. And so that's what you have to put yourself in a position to do. And you have to get creative about that. Because again, I don't know enough about you to say what's unique enough about you that can make that happen. So that's my thoughts on this, Victor, is that you got to become a destination channel where they want what you and only you can do. Beats by Gamer 86 says, I feel like Roberto said about the community tab was true. So shout out to you for that. I definitely recommend using the community tab more. So Beats by Gamer says, I've been spamming the community tab trying to gauge interest, and I've seen posts grow over time and particular topics stood out more. Yep, it works. Living on a Dime says, what's the difference between unique viewers and new viewers? So you have returning viewers, unique viewers, and you also have new viewers. Now, let me see here. So let me try and show you guys this. So you have new viewers versus returning viewers. I think we all understand what new and returning viewers are, but what about unique viewers? So you could think of unique viewers as total viewers, which is not the same thing as total views. It's humans. So if we click on audience, we see unique viewers, which says the estimated number of people that watched your content within the selected date range. And then you have returning viewers, just people who came back. And then you have new viewers, which is people who are new to watching your content. So I think it's self-explanatory, really, that if you subtracted the returning viewers who normally watch your content from the overall number of unique viewers that you have, then you would, have, here are the amount of individuals that haven't watched me before that started watching me now. So that's kind of the difference that you want to look at. So the difference is new viewers are just new people. Unique viewers is just the total number of humans who watched you. So by the way, unique viewers is your real audience. Returning viewers is your loyal audience. And new viewers are people who have just become your audience now. And new viewers represent your potential to grow. So hopefully that makes sense for you. Apocalyptic Retrospective says, Roberto, I do reactions too. It can come down to the popularity of a specific episode too. If it's a bad episode, people don't always want to watch reactions to it. Yes, that is also very true. Good Luck says, hey, Roberto, any advice on how to get viewers to comment more on videos? Yes, I've used this hack before. Many of you remember when I would say question of the day, and I would have that either in the beginning, middle, or end of a video, and I would lead with a question, or sometimes I'll throw up a stat or something in a video, and I say, hey, what do you guys think about this thing? Let me know in the comment section, and then I'll move on to the next segment of a video, and that would work very well. And that would drive up the comments and engagement on video. Also, if I pinned a comment with a question of the day and said, hey, I make my own comment on there and I pin it, and it's the question of the day, and I ask people to respond, that would get a lot of comments going too. The Word says, Roberto, I host a podcast. We have one on combos with creatives, business owners, and elected officials. I get great feedback from guests and people. However, my numbers are slow growth. It's been 2 years on YouTube. Podcasts can be like that if you don't have some of the biggest names and if they don't share it. The reason that other podcasts grow is because the people on the podcast who have followings themselves share it with their followers, and that helps grow those podcasts. Yep. All right, so I think we'll go for a few more minutes here because I'm running out of steam, apparently. Probably just need to eat something. But no, that was a good question with regard to unique viewers versus new viewers versus returning viewers. That one was good. FedEx guy says, hey, Roberto, I've been following you since you lived in New York. Oh, wow, the olden days. Jake G says, what's up, Roberto? Good to see you today. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing well, just running a little tired. Been traveling quite a bit and more traveling to come. I actually have a day trip to Texas, probably about roughly 2 weeks before VidCon. Then I've got VidCon. And I got brand obligations there, so I'll be traveling twice there in June. I was thinking of doing a weekend trip here at the end of May. We'll see how I feel. We'll see how I feel. No point in taking a trip when you're too tired to enjoy it, but we'll see. FedEx guy says, Roberto, do you think I should do more live streams or push for subscribers to become members? I would say if you need the watch time, then definitely do more live streams. If you're trying to make as much money as possible, if you got today's issue of the newsletter, and even if you didn't, for those of you who didn't check out today's newsletter, I'm going to drop a link in the description, and then you can get access to it. So for those of you who missed it, I just posted the link in the chat as well. So I run a newsletter. I'm going to try to go back to posting the newsletter twice a week, but Creator Economy Insider. And I talked about why creators might need to move on from AdSense. And it's like an 8-minute read. So you can get smarter and become a full-time content creator reading this stuff 15 minutes a week. But one of the things that I bring up was I brought up the invalid traffic thing, but in the bottom, I have a monetization guide that talks about 10 ways to diversify your income as a content creator. And so I go over this and I use some pretty specific examples here. So 10 ways to monetize as a content creator. And these are alternatives to ad revenue specifically. And so I diversify, and I try to diversify pretty aggressively. I try to shrink YouTube AdSense in the partner program to being as little of my revenue as possible compared to other revenue streams. Now, of course, I'm a larger creator and I'm an education-based creator, but there are things you can do even if you're an entertainment channel. But I'd encourage you, a lot of you, to really think of yourself as a business and also to be building multiple new income streams every year, and to consider how you can get as many paychecks coming to you every month as you possibly can. Because that's kind of the approach that I've used over the years, is just stacking up. Because even if it's $500 here, $200 here, $1,000 here, $2,000 over here, brand deal over here, that all adds up. And one of the things that I would say is to just, I did drop the link in the chat. One of the things that I would definitely say is to always look for new revenue opportunities over and over and over again, because I think that if you end up just relying on the platform, and the platform ever changes, whether it's the algorithm or it's a policy change, and you're overly relying on that platform as a source of income, well, it's no different than being an employee and getting fired at that point for the most part. So what I would say is you keep every single year, you look for another way to make money every single year, year over year, and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. Now, what you want to do with that is you start small. And if something's working, you do capitalize on it. The problem is people get comfortable. And so I don't like that. So like you get too comfortable, and we'll cover more of this on Monetization Monday. We'll cover this in Monday's stream. So make sure you're subscribed and you're coming back here. Y'all come back here. You hear? No, sorry. What does it go? How did they say it? Y'all come back now. You hear? So like that kind of thing. So anyway, the thing that you want to look at is more and more opportunities to maximize a digital asset. So what do I mean by that? The more affiliate programs you sign up to and have links in your description, the more opportunities to monetize and make money. The more platforms you distribute your content and your links to, the more opportunities to make money. The more platforms you live stream to, the more people you can reach, the more people that can support you, the more opportunities to make money. The more products and offers, whether it's physical merchandise, physical books, ebooks, digital books, music, so on and so forth. How does Netflix make money? They keep expanding their library. How do musicians make money? They keep expanding their discography. How do filmmakers make money? They keep expanding their filmography portfolio. So you keep building your portfolio with assets, and then you keep monetizing those assets as many ways and as many times as possible. So that becomes extremely important. You keep doing this over time, in my opinion. And as you do this and build up over time, it means every asset becomes more valuable, more powerful, more profitable. So I feel like that by doing that, you put yourself in the best position overall. Now, one of the reasons I keep encouraging many of y'all, and we'll do a workshop around this on not this Wednesday, but we'll do a workshop Wednesday. We'll do a workshop Wednesday. And one of the things that I think is really important, one of the best things you could do, in my opinion, this is just me personally, one of the best things you could do, in my opinion, would be for you to get an email list. Realize that email list, especially if it's using ConvertKit, I have it linked in my description of this video on YouTube. If you get on ConvertKit and you grow your email list to over 10,000 people, you can get sponsors. If you have sponsors, even with 5,000, you can get sponsors. You get sponsors. ConvertKit also has ad revenue. It's not a lot of money, but it's something. But it also has paid referrals for growing other people's lists. So it has paid referrals, it has a tip jar, digital product downloads. So it has like 5 ways to monetize, right? So that's your own email list, though. You own the access to that audience. You can build your own products and sell directly to that email list audience. If you build an email list strong enough and it goes beyond 10,000 subscribers and you ever got it to 50,000, you're gold. You can have a 6-figure, 7-figure income if you have 50,000 email subscribers. So that would give you a lot more power and a lot more direct support and direct access to an audience. And there's not a single platform that can take that away from you. There's nothing the platforms can do about it. So that becomes a good thing to do. Having your own membership website. If you have your own membership website where you're not splitting 30 or 50% with YouTube or Twitch or whoever, then now you own the asset completely. And so if you have 100 people supporting you, 1,000 people supporting you, and you have your own membership platform, then there's not a thing that the YouTube or Twitch or whoever or TikTok, there's not a thing they can do about it. So again, it's permissionless and it's algorithmless relationships at that point with people who want to support you. But a lot of creators are very afraid to ask for money, and so it jams them up. Abaddon, thank you for the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Fixed Point, $10. Hey, Roberto, can you do a quick channel review of my video niche topic and titles? I teach Etsy content. Fixed Point, I'm going to only spend like literally 60 seconds on it because we're not doing channel reviews today. And what I don't want is to get bombarded with people asking for that. So I'm going to literally, somebody can time it. We're going to do 60 seconds, but no one send in super chats asking for reviews because I'm not going to do them tonight.
Starting a print-on-demand business with Etsy is probably one of the most easiest as well as lucrative businesses you can start right from the comfort of.
Way too tired this evening. So your thumbnails are good, very good. I would say these are 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 thumbnails. I don't worry about view to subscriber ratios. View to subscriber ratios are nonsense. A lot of OG YouTubers still swear by it, but that's an outdated idea on YouTube. So what I'm interested in is what's your most popular videos and why? Your most popular videos, top 3, all print on demand, all print on demand. In fact, so top 3 were print on demand, and then the next 3 under that, basically aside from one that was a design guide, looks like these were specific Etsy strategies. So what people seem to like the most from you are Etsy strategies, design videos on trends, and print on demand guides. So your latest content should probably reflect that as well. Even this video that got 1.2K views in 4 days reflects on, oh, though this is strategy, that's very specific. So it's outperforming there. By the way, some of these videos that aren't doing well right now might be a slow burn. I had videos that didn't do well in their first 3 months that have 100,000 views now because I let them bake for a year. So I let them bake for a year. So stuff can underperform for 6 months. But if you let it bake for a year or two, it could have 100,000 views. So it all just depends. Yeah, but people are looking for what products will sell on Etsy. So that's obviously a given. Because what you're reverse engineering for and what you have to reverse engineer for is simply, why are people on Etsy? And frankly, they're on Etsy to make money. So the thing is, if your content can help facilitate that, in a meaningful and in a way that they can believe in then that's probably what will attract them. More Crazy Wild Finds says, Roberto, what is the best way to sell a digital product on TikTok, YouTube without being too salesy? I just created a Notion template, want to get more sales. Actually, reference the workshop that I did on digital product sales, and that should answer most of your questions there. Coastal Diva says, do we have to share the email list themselves with the sponsors? No, you just put an ad in them similar to how you would with a YouTube video, but it'll be in text instead of a video shout out. You are very welcome, Fixed Point. Fixed Point says, thank you. You're very welcome. K Ukulele with the timing says 2 minutes and 19 seconds. That was a lot of info. Make sure to like the stream. Yes, please like the live stream, everybody, in all the platforms. There's 425 of you watching across 6 platforms right now. So definitely appreciate it. I think that that's actually going to be it for tonight, guys. I would normally do this for at least an hour and a half. We're at the hour 15-minute mark, but I'm actually totally wiped out. So we're going to bookmark it there. We'll pick this up another time. I don't think I'm going to stream this weekend because it's going to be Mother's Day weekend. So I'm going to just shout out our sponsors, our good friends over at Streamyard, best streaming platform in the land, and our friends at OpusClip for repurposing content across multiple platforms. We want to be monetizing everywhere. So multi-streaming monetization, multi-platform monetization. So Streamyard and Opus. Plus, we want our own platform. You see why this sponsorship makes so much sense? Then we want our own platform so we can build that on Kajabi and not have to be digital sharecroppers. So the thing is, you see exactly what my plan here is. We live stream on StreamYard. We clip our things and we post them everywhere. We monetize the live streams everywhere. We monetize the clips everywhere. But we also take all of that traffic and we try to bring it back home to us, and we build our own platform. So shout out to our good friends at Kajabi with platforms, memberships, courses, digital products. So all the great things. So that's it, everybody. Links for everything are in the description down below. Make sure you're checking them out. Make sure you're checking out my book on Amazon, Create Something Awesome, How Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. Audiobook is still coming soon. Your boy just has to rest his voice and get back at it. Appreciate all of you. And we're going to end the stream with the trailer for my book. Stay awesome. I will see all of you for Monetization Monday. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Stay awesome. I'll catch you next time.
I finally did it. I finished my book, Create Something Awesome, How Content Creators Are Profiting from Their Passion in the Creator Economy. The book is available now in paperback and in Kindle, where you can read it on any e-reader or device. And I'm really excited about this. The audiobook is coming soon, probably October 2022. Oh my God, it's so great to be able to have this book done, put it up on the bookshelf, and to know that all of you who appreciate it, you want to hear what I have to say about the creator economy, becoming a full-time content creator, and what the experience and lifestyle of being a content creator actually is like. This is the book. I put 20 chapters in here of the most important things I think that content creators could be focusing on today. I talk about the mental health aspect of being a content creator, getting discouraged, imposter syndrome, not charging what you're worth, and mostly actionable advice around monetizing your content properly, but also how to build an audience on your authenticity and what it's really like to start from zero, even today. So if you're interested, make sure you're checking out the book. You can order it on Amazon. You also probably order it in a lot of other places like Barnes & Noble, and it will be coming to other bookstores soon. Really excited about it. Thank you for all the support and love around the book and the positive reviews. Now go ahead and pick it up and make sure you go out there and create something awesome today. Take care.